it's Miss Katie Jane from Hoover Public Library. Your school librarian, Mrs. Lieber, asked me to make this video highlighting some of the super great books that you have at your very own Deer Valley Elementary Library. Of course, you can get them from me, but you can also get them when you're at school. We're going to get started with a series by a guy you may have heard of. His name is Andrew Clements. He's written a lot of books, but we're going to focus on his series called Jake Drake. Now, I just have a few in this series. Jake Drake Bully Buster, Jake Drake Teacher's Pet, and Jake Drake Class Clown. Now, how can one kid be these three different things? Well, guys, depending on what's going on in your life, sometimes you got to change it up a little bit. Maybe someone's picking on you. You're going to have to stand up for yourself. Maybe all the kids laugh at you because they think you're a teacher's pet. You may have to be not quite so nice to the teachers anymore. Or maybe there's a new teacher at school or a new kid who never smiles, and you want to be the class clown so there'll be a smile on their face. Jake Drake shows you that you're not just one thing, you're lots of things. So if you're interested in it, remember the series is called Jake Drake and it's by Andrew Clements. Now, the rest of the series we're going to talk about have a little bit of a spooky edge to them, especially the Franny K Stein series by Jim Benton. Now, if you're not familiar with Franny K Stein, she is a kid who is also a mad scientist. She's also assisted by Igor, and he's not a boy, he's a dog, but he's very good at assisting her when she's working on her science projects. I have two of the books right here. One of them is called Franny K Stein, Mad Scientist, Fantastic Voyage. And it's about the time that Igor was maybe not so helpful when he accidentally swallowed a doomsday device. And instead of waiting for him to spit it up or get rid of it another way, Fran decides that she is going to shrink herself down and go on a field trip through her dog, Igor. She is one brave girl. Or maybe she's just a little bit cuckoo for science. The other one I have is Franny K Stein, Mad Scientist, The Fran That Time Forgot. And in this book, the worst thing ever happens. Everyone in her school learns what the K stands for in her name. It's the word she hates, and she decides she's going to fix it. She's going to go back in time and make sure that that is not her name, that K is not the initial for her name. But instead of going back in time like she planned, she accidentally has to confront her teenage self in the future. It's kid versus teen, good versus evil, Franny versus Franny in The Fran That Time Forgot. Get all of the Franny K Stein Mad Scientist books at Deer Valley Elementary. Remember, they're by Jim Benton. All right, it's time for another feisty girl. This series has a lot of books. I've just picked two of like 50. The series is called Katie Kazoo, Switch-a-Roo, and they're written by Nancy Krulak. Now, Katie Kazoo made a wish, and that wish came true, but not in the way she expected. She wished that she could be anybody but herself, and now she never knows who, what, or when she's going to switch-a-roo into something else. In this book right here, Going Batty, she switcheroos into, you guessed it, a bat. It takes place during Halloween, and their class is studying not just bats, but all nocturnal animals. And a trip to the zoo does not go according to plan. If you want another Katie Kazoo Halloween read, why don't you try Witch Switch? The great thing about this one is not just that it's set at Halloween, but there's not just one switcheroo. This is a super special edition, which means it's switcheroo times 2. Find out what she's going to switcheroo into next when you read Katie Kazoo Switcheroo by Nancy Krulak. All right, now the last book series we're going to talk about is a little bit longer, a little bit more challenging than the others. This series is called Swindle by Gordon Corman, and it starts off kind of in a spooky way. A boy decides he's going to have a sleepover in the haunted house in his town before it is demolished. It's his last chance. What he doesn't realize is something that he thought would be a little bit spooky turns out to be the best day of his life because he finds a rare Babe Ruth baseball card hidden in the house. The problem is, before he can get rich, he is tricked out of it by a local con artist / baseball card collector. And now he and his friends have to figure out a way to get it back, even if it involves breaking into his compound, going against a high-tech security system, a guard dog, and the difficult thing is they can't drive yet, so they got to work some of that out too. There's lots of things at stake: money, And hello, they don't want to get bit by this guy. Look, it's a Doberman, people. Scary. Now, this book is first in a series. There's already 6 books out, so if you like this one, there's 5 more to read. But guess what I just learned? The 7th one is coming out in 2015. That's just around the corner, people. So make sure you're ready. Read Swindle by Gordon Corman, and then read the others, so you'll be ready for book 7. Thanks so much. Glad I got to talk to you guys about some books. Next, we're going to talk about spooky stuff happening at Hoover Public Library. Can't wait. All right, guys, we're going to take a break from talking about books to talking about what is happening at Hoover Public Library during the month of October. There's a lot of stuff going on. I've been stirring up a lot of fun for the future. I'm going to tell you about it. Some of it you may be too young for, some you may be too old for. But if you got brothers and sisters, you can pass the information on to them. We're going to start with our pumpkin painting contest. We have it every year. In fact, this is the 13th annual. Ooh, spooky. All you have to do is paint a pumpkin at home any way you want to. Don't carve it, because when it stays in the library, it starts to stink. P.U. But you can paint it, bring it in. You'll get a chance to win a prize and a chance to win a super big prize. Plus, everyone will see it at Hoover Public Library and say, what a talented pumpkin painter you are. If you don't want to make it at home, maybe you don't have all the arts and crafts supplies you need, you can come to our pumpkin painting workshop. It's coming up on October 7th at 6:30 p.m. That is a Tuesday night. That means you could bring your whole family. It'll be lots and lots of fun. Now, besides pumpkin painting, we have some special events coming up for specific age groups. If you're in 1st, 2nd, or 3rd grade, we have a program called Spooktacular Shirts and more. If you bring a t-shirt to the library on October 28th at 4:30 p.m., you will have a chance to turn that t-shirt into something truly ghoulish spectacular, maybe even spooktacular. There's also going to be some other things that I can't tell you about. It's a secret, but it will super be fun. So make sure you come to Spooktacular Shirts and more if you're in 1st, 2nd, or 3rd grade. If you're in 4th, 5th, or 6th grade, which, since we're at Deer Valley, I'm only really talking to 4th graders. If you're in 4th grade, we have something coming up called Halloween Video Game Spectacular, which means you can come dressed up as your favorite video game character and play video games with a lot of other kids dressed up like video game characters. Plus, we'll be feeding you some tasty treats. That is coming up on Friday, October 24th at 4:30 p.m. So make sure that you come to that. Now guys, the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade program and the 4th, 5th, and 6th grade program, you have to register ahead of time. So make sure you check out our website, www.hooverlibrary.org/kidzone, to sign up and to find out more. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is the biggest party we are having at Hoover Public Library. For months and months and months. We've been working on it for an entire year. It is called The Wizarding World of Hoover Public Library, and it is going to feature wizards from our favorite books and our favorite movies. Let me give you just a little bit of a breakdown. We will take over the entire library from 7 to 9 p.m. on Friday, October 17th. The theater level and the plaza level of the library will be completely focused on our favorite wizard of all time, Harry Potter. If you're a big Harry Potter fan, there's going to be all sorts of stuff for you. You could get a wand from Ollivander. You could get your own magical creature. You can make your way through the maze in the Tri-Wizard Tournament. There's all sorts of stuff going on. If you are a fan of something called, what was that again? Frozen? I think that's it. We have a special area dedicated to Elsa and Olaf. There'll be some singing, there'll be some snowman making. So, do you want to build a snowman? Come to the Frozen section at Wizarding World of Hoover Public Library. Also, the section I'm in charge of is devoted to Maleficent. She's my favorite villain of all time. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff with thorn mazes and dragons and sleeping potions and fairies and princesses and princes. So, lots of cool fairy tale magic going on in the Maleficent section. Also, we are going to have something in the teen spot called Merlin. What? You don't know Merlin? He's like the most famous wizard before Harry Potter. Like he existed way, 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 way before Harry Potter. He's going to be doing cool stuff with owls, and you will probably be able to get a sword not in the stone. Yes, a sword just for you, made out of balloons. That's right, we'll have the balloon guy there. We'll also have in the Harry Potter section the tattoo guide that we have every year, so you don't want to miss out on that. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, if you want to come to that event dressed as you are for school, totally fine. If you want to come to that event dressed as your Halloween costume, give it a test run, totally fine. If you want to come dressed as one of the characters, totally fine. If you want to bring your little brother and sister to another section called Mickey as the Sorcerer's Apprentice, totally fine. The Wizarding World of Hoover Library is for little kids, big kids, teenagers, and adults. We want everyone to party. Now guys, I will warn you, last year we had 1,200 people. So you want to get there a little bit early to make sure you don't miss out on any of the fun. And now, last but definitely not least, I have to tell you that if you're looking for a great place to trick-or-treat on Halloween, you should come to Hoover Public Library. From 9 a.m. till 6 p.m., we're going to have trick-or-treaters there, solid, straight 10 hours. There will be 15 candy stations. It'll be a great chance for you to get some delicious treats and show off your costume to all the people at Hoover Library. Remember, if you want to find out more about any of these events, you can go to our website, www.hooverlibrary.org/kidzone. Or, of course, you can stop by the Hoover Library. And if you do, make sure you say hello to me, Miss Katie Jane. Thank you guys so much. Look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.